Welcome back, Santa Clarita. You are watching The Real Estate Beat with Mr. Mike Meena with Augusta Financial, and I'm Gene Bleeker. We are the beat.
We got the beat.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. And we also got Paul Atkins here today.
We do. Paul Atkins from Remax of Valencia. Thank you for coming on, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
You like to be on the beat?
Love it.
I think when you're here, we should call it the Pauly Pavilion. I like it.
That's great. You know,
Right?
Pauly Pavilion was one of the first places Paul wanted to see when he came to LA.
It was.
And
I saw it.
did they sign you?
No.
All right. Well, they should have. That was their first mistake.
So Paul, I see that you're a certified distressed property expert, Remax Hall of Fame award winner, Remax Lifetime Achievement Award, serving Santa Clarita clients since 1982, or serving all clients since 1982, everywhere. So what are some of the changes in our local market, real estate market, that you're seeing right now?
Well, to be able to tell you exactly what's going on today, we need to take a look back at the 2013 market. For 2013, about 25% of the closed transactions that we had were distressed sales, either REOs or short sales. If we compare that to today's market, only 15% are distressed sales. And my projection is for 2014, by the end of the year, we're probably going to see distressed sales down in the 5 to 7% range at the end of the year, which means they're slowly going away. And so consequently, when they go away, what we see is the investors that were plaguing us last year, or, depending upon how you want to look at it,
Sure.
They were flooding the marketplace last year. And consequently, what ended up happening was they were buying anything and everything they could as quickly as they could. So we saw the property values going up because multiple offers. The investor / buyer today is only a minute part of the buyer pool that we see. So that's something that has changed. The other thing that we have seen change is last year we saw about a 15 to 20% increase in property values depending upon neighborhood, area, and so forth. Now that's going to vary depending upon the tracts and the areas and so forth, but that 15 to 20% increase in values happened in the first 8 months of 2013. In September of 2013, we saw the market flatten, okay? So what has happened since then to today is basically the same thing. We're laying dormant. We're not going up, we're not going down. It's just flat. And in fact, for February, our sales were down significantly. It was probably the worst February that we've seen in 7 years for closed transactions. Now, I don't want to be a doomsdayer, but definitely 2014, everybody had the idea that we were going to come out and have a fabulous year. And I think it's still going to be a good year, but the numbers right now are not showing that. And I'm a numbers guy, so I'm looking at it and analyzing compared to last year where we're at. And the buyer activity right now, year to date, is down 51% for what we did in 2013. So when we look at that and evaluate it, a lot of times these sellers that are having their homes on the market are looking at it going, how come no one's showing my home? How come I don't have an offer? And probably because they overlisted it at a price that's not going to cause it to sell, and nobody's showing it because they're going, what's this guy smoking? So what we're going to see is this year, I think we're going to have an introduction to where we were back in the 90s, where we're going to start seeing expired listings. Back then, we were, second, third agent in would get the job done. And we're headed back to that. I mean, it's eventually going to catch up with us. So it's going to be an interesting year. I'm hoping that the numbers pick up from where they are today. Right now, they don't look as glowing as we want to see, but I have hope and faith that we're going to progress into that as spring goes on. So
Gotcha.
it's been interesting,
Gotcha.
For 2013, we saw, about at the end of the year, I think we were at 46 days worth of inventory. Okay, today that's up to 76 days worth of inventory in the marketplace.
What does that really mean, Paul? Because there's some people who don't understand the real estate lingo.
Well, I do a special report on a monthly basis, and if anybody would like to have a detailed report, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about your neighborhood, your tract, your area, and provide you with one. What I do is analyze the sold properties on a monthly basis And then what I do is divide them out into areas so that I can really get a feel for the market. So what I'm trying to do is keep my finger on the pulse of the real estate market here in Santa Clarita. And what we want to do is we want to look at consumption rate. So we want to look at how many units have sold within a time period so that we can forecast where we're going for the next 30 days and so forth. So when I say that the marketplace has X amount of days of inventory, that means if no listings came into the marketplace in 76 days, we would be completely sold out.
That is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm looking at the clock, and I mean, Paul, I've never heard you ask one question before
I did not get a chance.
and get a 5-minute answer.
Wow, that was fantastic.
You have a gift, my friend. You're very good at what you do.
Thank you.
Paul, we do have to take a break. Thank you for being on the show. I know your contact information's on the screen, which is wonderful, and I know people will definitely want to get a hold of you. But Santa Clarita, we're going to take a break. We've got another guest coming on in a second. We'll be right back.